Namaste. How can we breathe better? Becoming a SWA-TANTRIK. SWA, self. Tantric means one who uses the resources, breath or energy and consciousness to reach that one ultimate goal that, where everything combines Shiva and Shakti and experience a level of ecstasy, oneness that is rare but possible with the power of your breath. So, how can we breathe better? Becoming a SWA-TANTRIK. First, cleansing of lungs and Nadis is essential. Lungs and the Nadis, which carry energy through the body. Once Nadis and lungs have begun to be cleansed, one will feel one is breathing easier, lighter, smoother, better than ever before. Many and all pranayama techniques help one breathe better in some way or the other. However, when one begins to connect deeper with their breath and the Pranamaya kosha, they will begin to understand their own energy system better. As you begin to observe how you're breathing, how your breath is working through you, you will understand this better. Energy flows through the estimated 72,000 nadis in the body, channels. Naturally, if these are blocked, if there are blockages anywhere in the system, some organs and functions of the body will begin to malfunction or not function optimally. Conditions like ED, heart attacks, brain strokes, etc. are all directly and obviously connected with blockages. When specialized breathwork techniques are learned and employed, they work like a dredger. In rivers, they use a dredging machine or a ship that dredges the base of the river, clears out the sand or whatever has built up there so that the river becomes deeper, it flows better, it flows easier. So when specialized breathwork techniques are employed, they work like a dredger and cleanse the channels so that the rivers inside become deeper and wider and allow for easier passage of breath, of energy. Anulom Vilom, also known variously as Nadi Shodhan, where you alternate the flow of breath through nostrils. Bhastrika, Kapal Bhati, and even Udgit when you do the chanting of Om, etc. Or the Brahmari, where you actually close your all these parts and you do the Omkar, Om. All of these help immensely with improving one's breathwork or breathing systems. However, when these techniques are employed with the amazing Hanuman Master Breath, which I teach, which has come to me almost like an insight, like a blessing from Hanumanji, and that's why it's called Hanuman Master Breath, and the unique Lotus Opening Program, which is also an insight that came as I did my pranayama techniques, etc., which actually helps to, in a sense, dilate the whole system, the whole breathwork system inside, just with the power of breath, and you're able to breathe so much better. So when these techniques are employed with the Hanuman Master Breath and the Lotus Opening Program, the power and efficacy of these programs these techniques increases multifold, far more effective. And when all this is done, and the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh channels, now this is something nobody seems to talk about for some reason. I think of the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh channels as 3 channels running from more or less the Sahasrara all the way to the Mooladhara. So when the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh channels are used together, the Pranamaya kosha becomes very powerful. It becomes the most powerful version of itself capable of functioning inside a human being. See, I have been a smoker for 40 years, and for 20 years I smoked 40 cigarettes, but today I'm on 0 medication. Nothing for sugar, nothing for high BP, nothing for any of the conditions, nothing for indigestion, nothing for any of the conditions that I've earlier mentioned that I've had and suffered and so on. Simply with the power of breath, and usually with the power of the Hanuman Master Breath and the Lotus Opening Program. All cleared, all going very well. So when the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh channels are used together, the Pranamaya kosha becomes the most powerful version capable of functioning inside a human being. That's when wellness gains a new definition, and when breath becomes God Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri is known as the god of health or wellness, like a personal physician. And that's what he becomes to you. Your breath becomes your personal physician. That's also when, for example, a 60-year-old with 22 years of diabetes and over a decade of ED becomes like a young man again. I've shared videos of this gentleman. He's actually a scientist, and he speaks about how he's had diabetes for 22 years and ED for more than 10 years. But just with the power of breath, he has recovered and healed himself. That's also when one can experience Ananda, almost at will. Ananda is that sense of bliss, sense of joy, sense of orgasm that you just feel inside you with the power and the movement of your breath. So you start feeling this just with movement of breath. And what can be a greater outcome than Ananda on call? So discover SWA-Tantra, a unique, in-depth system of breathwork offered by me, Rajyogi, under inspiration from Hanumanji. Take the maximum advantage of it. Thank you. Namaste.